Hi, welcome to ESP32 tutorial from Robojax. In this video we are going to learn how to control the color of this RGB LED strip with ESP32 over the Wi-Fi. We can touch, select the color and set the color. Maybe green. Or select the color from your desktop by using the color picker and then set the color. Let's get started with this. ESP32 starter kit from SunFounder. This is the best ESP32 learning kit from SunFounder. It has this ESP32 microcontroller which has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. This board can do everything Arduino Uno can do or many other Arduinos can do, plus extra more features. Because we have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, the possibilities are endless. You can get connected to the cloud or do the control or read information or values via your mobile device or your desktop or over the cloud from a far location. It comes with a camera extension kit where you can stream the video over Wi-Fi either through the cloud or to your network, and also it comes with micro SD card where you can save images on the micro SD card, or you can write from the device any information, log the information on the device and read it back. You can power the board using this included 18650 lithium battery, and it has built-in charger where you can connect micro USB and charge the battery. The kit comes with 320 pieces of component that you can learn tons of projects. We have introduced WS2812 LED strip in previous lessons, and we used it multiple times in other lessons, so we are not going to spend time, but briefly I could say that we can select, or you can select color for each individual pixel. This is 8 pixel RGB. There are longer version of it and you can address them and each individual could be selected, but for this video we are just applying the same color to all over the Wi-Fi. This ESP32 must be connected to the same router or to the same SSID as the phone or as the tablet or computer or desktop that you have. And as you can see, this is now connected to the battery and you can move it around because the SunFounder's board is amazing with a built-in charger and it comes with a battery. That's very cool. Come to this page, docs.sunfounder.com. Scroll down until you see ESP32, then click on ESP32 Starter Kit Main. On the left side, click on Arduino User, RGB LED Strip 2.7. The documentation is here, and there is very good explanation. And for this device, there is a separate page, so there is explanation, specs, and how it works, and where on the other documentation it has been used. Now I'm on the Bing search engine. Just type RGB color picker with slider, and the first one that comes, click on it. To understand the color of RGB, we have to first know that all colors can be created, or any color can be created from combination of R, G, and B. This area shows the actual color that we have created, and because there is no color, the red is 0, the value is red is 0, green is 0, and blue is 0, so we see black color. Now if I move this, you see some red here, and this is maximum value. Why 255? Because it's 2 to the power 8. So we have 8-bit color resolution, which means from here to here we have 255 steps to add or adjust the color. Of course, there are higher bit rates that can be done. For our purpose, we are using 8 bits. So this is red. Now if I slide it back, the value, you just read it here, pay attention. And this is green, maximum green, light green, and then dark. And then this is blue. So we got these 3 colors. Now the value could be shown also in hex. Pay attention, this is the hex value, but those are RGB. But we are paying attention to this. Now let's have red and let's put green. So this is red, this is green, and if you combine it, you get yellow color. And if we have red and if you put blue, then we get pink color. So this is the combination of red and blue. Now I'm bringing that down. This is green now. Green is the maximum. Now if I bring red, you know it was yellow, but blue and green will create this sepia, this color. And if I bring all the colors, it will be white. This is interesting. If you combine the right proportion of R, G, and B, red, green, and blue, you will create a white color. And now if we pay attention, this is 255, 255, 255. Now this color is red is 0, and then we have green and blue, 255, 255. That's why we are getting. And if you want pink, so red is maximum 255, and then 255 is a blue. If we put them at the middle, you will create a darker pink, because we are moving these two together, 82, 82, or 83, so they will be the same. Now the fun starts when you play with these values and you create like different color. Orange, you see somewhere here, if we have full red and blue is 0, green is at the middle, that's you see we are creating orange. If I bring that here and this, we have different kind of blue. So we, with all this, we can create different color that we want, and we are going to practically test it and see it here. When you use ESP32 with SunFounder's ESP32 camera extension module like this, it comes also with a battery on the package, and it comes a built-in charger, so you can connect it and charge it and disconnect, and later on you can use it with a lot of power, so you can power up your application very easily. The wiring is very simple. We are connecting out of these 3 wires. The 5 volts is connected to the last pin. This is 5 volts when the USB is facing this way, and then ground is the second pin, and I've connected it to pin 13, which is the 3rd pin, so they are connected in the same order, VCC, ground, and data pin, like this. Let me explain the code. I've started the code from file examples, and if you scroll down under this ESP32, scroll down until you see web server and then advanced web server. I've selected this and heavily modified it. So the portion that I've added is the library for NewPixel. If you have not watched that video, just I'm selecting and copying it, going to the library, right click and paste, and wait until you see NewPixel by Adafruit. Adafruit NewPixel 8. It has been installed. You will see the install button in here. Click and install it. So this is pin 13 for LED pin. 8 is number of this pixels that we have, or LEDs, and then this line is creating the pixel. I'm not going to talk about it. So these are the default initial colors, value for R, value for G and B. these numbers could be from 0 to 255, and I showed you how the RGB colors are selected. And this line, data show serial data, this is, if you select it to true, it will show in the serial monitor. Set it false if you don't want to see it. These are variables that are used internally, and this is also internally. When the color changes, the color is applied in here. This is now red. And this is for Wi-Fi client and web server, and then ESP32. And set your SSID for your router. For example, if the router is DARS with lower d, lowercase d, if you put capital D, it will not work. So respect that, and also type your password for your router. And this is initializing web server at the port 80. This page is displaying the color picker that you saw. This page, this is coming. If I press Ctrl U, it will show you the page. This is a page that is generated by this code. That have been generated by this. So we have created a string called page, and this is initial value for the page, and then we have added other elements to the page. This is called concatenate. So we are concatenating more elements, and this portion is getting the color. The color is a global variable. This variable, and when we change the color, the change is applied to this, and it's displayed on the screen. So the page is built, and then server.send with 200. 200 is OK code, and text type is text and HTML, and the page is sent. So this line is sending the page. Important part is that get color is getting the color when we touch. It comes as a server argument. Actually, the initialization starts from here. In here, when you have /color, when you touch or click, it will create /color, and the type is get, HTTP get, and this is a function get color. So this function will run. If you don't touch anything, it will be / the URL. It goes to show color page, which I just showed you at the top of the page. That generates the page. But when you touch it and click set color, it comes to this page, to the color. / color comes to the server, and when the server detects this, it goes to get color, and here this get color gets the server argument, the first argument, and it checks if it is fave color. Fave color is value in here, so this is the color picker value. If the value is there, then we know it's the actual value. Then we get the value, the actual value, server argument 0, and convert it to string and set it to this variable called new color. And this, from new color, we remove this number line. Actually, the color will be like this. It will have this hashtag, and then hexadecimal value. The two values for red, the other 2 is for green, the other 2 is for blue. So we remove the hashtag and we call it the color. That is set, but we need to get the value for red, green, and blue. So this line gets the variable called new color substring. We say start from 1 to 3, so it gets the 2 color from 1 to 3, which is 2. So the 2 color, if it was, for example, B2, will be stored in R, and then from 3 to 5 and 5 to 7, we are getting green and blue in this variable. Now this variable is string. We need to convert it, and we use the color, get the color R, G, and B, and we convert it to hex, which goes to this function, and this will return it back as a hexadecimal, and it stores it in this value. And then the same way for green, for blue. And this is at the top of the code. If you set to show the values, this will print on the serial monitor. And that is, and after that we run the color picker page again. And set function, set color, then we have a for loop that goes from 0 to a number of LEDs, and it runs I equals 0, I is 0, and becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. And every time it changes, we set the value of R, green and blue, and set the color for the LED strip, and then strip.show will show it with 10 millisecond delay, and it will continue to run immediately all the colors. If there is no connection of internet, we run the same thing, exact same thing here with some values, and then 200 millisecond delay, and then we go in reverse. Here I is 0, it goes up, but here I is 8 minus 1, this is number of LEDs, and it goes until it goes 0, and as a result the color will move like this, and it will go back. So this is sending it to the right if you're looking at my location, and this is sending them, turning them on back with this random color that I picked. And no, not found is a function that if you type some URL on the browser, and here for example if you type /book, it will say the /book of type get with 0 argument, not found. If you have some kind of argument like book question mark A is equal something like this, it's busy, so yeah, it says argument is 1, A is equal this, it not found. So this function is taking care of that. And then Wi-Fi setup is a function. When you call it, it sets the Wi-Fi using SSID and password, and if it checks if Wi-Fi status is not equal connected, it will run the no connection, which is the top, which will turn on the LEDs or run the LEDs for us. After 500 milliseconds, it will just type the dots on the serial monitor to show that it's busy. If the internet connection happens, if the Wi-Fi is connected, it just goes to the next line, and it will print this text with this SSID and will tell you the IP address that you are connected. You can also check using MDNS. For example, I set it to RGB, Robojax RGB. If I copy it, I press Ctrl C, should put http : / and then Robojax RGB, and without IP address we can just access it. But this doesn't work in all networks. It works in my network environment. And that's done. Inside the setup, we initialize the serial monitor with 115,900. We initialize the strip.begin, strip.show, and set up Wi-Fi, which was in here, and then server on / if the / request comes. / means nothing, just request the IP address or the MDNS. It runs the show color picker page, which I just explained at the top of the code, and if it's / color, it will go to get color, which I explained it. And if you, this is just an example, if you do / inline, it will print this text. And then server on not found, it goes to handle not found, which I just showed you and demonstrated that it will show error. Server.begin is initializing the server, and this will print the text on the screen. Inside the loop, I have added this while Wi-Fi is not connected. Then go and run setup Wi-Fi, and server.handle client is handling all the requests continuously, and also we set the color continuously when we change it, and there is 300 milliseconds. The loop will run this portion continuously. Now let's see how we can select the ESP32 board. We can click here under the select board and type here ESP32 DEV. As soon as you type dev, you will see dev board. you can select it and click OK. So the board has been selected. Now we have to select the port. The other way to select the board is click on Tools, Board, ESP32, and select the ESP32 dev module. Now we have to select the port. If I click here, it shows 2 ports, and I don't know which one belongs to my device. Sometimes you will not see the number properly. So the best way to be sure, right click on the Start menu, go to the Device Manager, and you will see here the ports. If I click on this arrow, it will show me the ports. One is USB serial CH340, the other is USB serial device. And here, now it's connected. If I disconnect this, one of them disappears. The one that disappeared is my board. So 6 stays and 8 disappeared. If I connect it, so 8 is my COM port, CH340. Now 8 is my COM port and I can select it. Or I can click on Tool, Port, and here you will see it. You can select whichever you want. Ours is COM8. Now we have successfully selected the board and the port. And this is very important. It must be done first. And at the moment it is connected over the Wi-Fi, and make sure that your desktop or laptop, whatever you have, it must be connected to the same SSID or router as the ESP32, otherwise you will not be able to see it. So when this is connected using USB, you can check the IP address. Just press this button, and as it gets connected you will see the IP address here, 192.168.0.100. That is my IP address for this network. So we go to that IP address, 192.168, and you will see some default color. So let's select the color. This was the default color that we have. If I select like I turn the light off, so let's click to set the color, and the color is changed. You can use a color picker to pick a color from the screen, for example, and turn it on like that, or whichever way you like. This is now like that. Let's set it to red. So from the left we can select the range of colors, and once you select, for example, blue, all the blue will be available, and here red, this is the all variation of red or green. And then once you select the color, then this is the darker area, and the brightest is here, the darkest is on this corner. So you can select the color and set it like that. And here my mobile device is also connected to the same IP address as the router. Let's select a color. In iPhone it shows like this with this is Microsoft Edge that I'm running. Let's select blue, and the color is changed, and let's select yellow, and the color changed perfectly. It's responding. Now when I disconnect the router, for example, right now I disconnected the router, it checks the connectivity and it will blink, and you can disable it if there is no connection. So this is what happens. This is now telling you that there is no connection, and once I connect it, as soon as it gets connected, it will go to the default color or the previous color that it was. Just wait. So this was the last color. But If I reset it again, it will blink. The blink color is default, but it will go to the default color. I believe it is red. I will show you in the code. So it's blinking, and this is the default color that we have there. When you touch the color picker, from here there is a slider where you can go and select the exact color that you want, or even sometimes maybe you can touch, for example, 255 full red. This way you can do that and then apply the color. This is Android device, and as you can see, the screen is totally different. Color picker is also different here. Select color. We have only selected colors here. Set and change. So this was not connected. Let's see. No connection. Let's get connected. So the connection was established. Let's see. Here is the more, and then in the more we can have a slider, so you can select the different color and click set and touch to set that color. Let's see if we have RGB. More, select color. No, that's it. So the color picker looks like this on Android device.